Hi, I'm Michelle, and here on BD TV today, I'm talking to Deborah Hutton about DMK. Deborah, thanks for coming in today.
Pleasure.
Can we start with you telling us how you found DMK?
Well, I was on one of the first jobs I was doing for Foxtel for BioChannel, who I work for, and we were covering some stuff on the Adelaide Film Festival. I just had a period of about sort of 6 weeks that I'd come out of having a fairly major skin cancer surgery on my face, and this was my first job. And I'm thinking, I was so conscious of the fact that I had this scar. But I knew this was coming up, so I arrived there and I had all this sort of dermablend and I had all this stuff that I could sort of just pack onto it and hope, that we weren't going to see it. But the makeup artist who was actually booked, she said, Deborah, just relax. I've got some great stuff. I promise you won't notice it. So I did. I just went, well, you know what? I'm in the hands of the gods here. So when she'd finished doing my face, and we're sitting in a hotel room, so there was no mirror. So when she'd finished, I put the mirror up and I was like, oh my God. I was like, you could not even see the scar. And I said, what have you used? And she said, look, it's this thing with the primer and blah, blah, blah. And she said, it's DMK. And I was like, well, how come? And she talked to me about the primer and then the pigment over the top. And I just thought, this is just extraordinary stuff. So I was hooked immediately on the makeup. I really wanted to find out about it.
And was there one product in particular that stood out to you?
Well, I think in terms of the makeup, the thing that really works is the creme glacé, which is the primer underneath, and it works in sort of like a net, I suppose. It kind of puts this very soft sort of film over your skin. So when you actually put the pigment on top, it just seems to minimise all the lines and the wrinkles. And in this case, she did such a brilliant job because it kind of just really took over and sort of smoothed out that scar. So I just thought it was the most extraordinary thing. Great for high definition television.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, yeah.
And DMK skincare is quite treatment focused. Do you use the skincare products?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, when I found out about the makeup, I thought, well, what is this brand? And then I sort of wanted to really, look into it. So I went and discovered DMK, and yes, it's salon based, and I really went through the whole thing and spoke to the guy who basically runs it, and I was just immediately interested, because I think I was sort of looking, as you get older, you have sort of different needs, and rather than looking for a sort of blanket solution with skincare, I wanted something that was a bit more specific, and I think their approach to it was something that really sort of rung home for me.
Was there a specific skin concern that you found it treated the best for you or worked best on your skin? Well,
at that particular time I was concerned about my scar. I really wanted to work on that, and I sort of feel some of their products have really helped sort of speed up that healing process. But I think for me it was probably sort of anti-aging is one thing. I've stayed away from Botox and any fillers, and I tried just to put as much effort as I can into my skin. So in terms of hydration, that's a really big thing for me. I drink a lot of water, but I like my skin to get as much nourishment as possible. So I think in terms of, anti-aging, and I think hydration just really adds to the evenness and the tonus and the tone of your skin.
And now with changing weather comes new skin complaints.
Oh, yes, we love changing weather. I just got back from Darwin on a job, and it was like 35 degrees at 1,000% humidity, and I went, now what would you do up here for your skincare? Just spritz all day.
So with winter coming, is there a DMK product that you would recommend to treat winter skin concerns?
Look, I'm a huge fan of the mask. I do a daily, well, basically both, daily skincare in terms of cleansing and moisturising. But I'm a huge fan of the mask because I really think that I love a bit of a booster, and I think in winter that's exactly what your skin needs. So there's a great exfoliant that I use first, Micropeel, which you basically just put on and leave on for a minute or so it's quick. Yeah. Take that off, and then I put the fantastic mask on. I've actually got it here, the hydrating mask. It's very cool. It's a very light gel type mask. Nice. And I just put the whole face, neck, décolletage, and I can just wander around the house at night before I jump into bed. And to me, I just wake up in the morning and my skin looks and feels amazing.
And how often do you use that?
A couple of times a week. I'm a bit addicted to it. But you don't have to use it a couple of times a week. It's just, I'm indulgent. What can I say?
So when it comes to changing your skincare regime between summer and winter, what are the biggest changes?
I think you you have to be really careful in terms of overdosing on too much moisturiser and any sort of heavy moisturisers in summer. I think the skin needs to breathe a lot more. But also I spend a lot of time outdoors. So I live by the beach, I train outdoors, I'm walking my dog Billy, I play golf. So the biggest thing is, and of course because I'm a Queenslander and I have had a few skin cancers removed, the sunblock is the most important thing. But basically, swimming and all that sort of stuff, they've got a product called Seba oil. And with any of their products, we use a herb and mineral mist because it basically helps with that transdermal, getting it into the skin. And this is just a lovely sort of light hydration. So I think in terms of summer, it's sort of a harsher climate than winter because you've got so many more elements that are sort of attacking your skin. So I think that's just a really lovely little nourishing. Come out swimming, something like that, throw the Seba oil on and the mist, and it's fantastic.
Now, DMK Cosmetics is the newest branch of the brand, and that's where you found the brand to start with.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did touch on this before. How do you find it performs in your line of work, especially in front of the camera?
Look, I think it's fantastic. I think because of the creme glacé, and then you've got this very light pigment. The nice thing about it is you don't have to use too much of it. You've got a particular brush to put it on with, but I just find sometimes what I do is I mix the creme glacé with the pack, and it looks actually fairly dry, but it's not when you put it on. It looks like a bit of a...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so if you mix it with the creme glacé, I love it because it gives a very light coverage. To me, less is more, and I think as you get older, you don't want to put too much on your skin. You want to have that coverage without sort of feeling like you're packing a lot of makeup on. So it works for me because it's just purely, it's such a light coverage that you have to get a really good result.
And when it comes to cosmetics, what's your favourite, Deborah?
My favourite cosmetics? Oh, I have a few. It's kind of hard to say what a favourite is. And I'm such a lip gloss person. I've got 1,000 lip glosses. I don't know, I use a whole bunch of different things. If you want the biggest beauty tip, just drink like 2 litres of water a day. I do. I've been doing that for years. The best thing ever. That, and just keep never go to bed with your makeup on. Doesn't matter how good the night is.
Deborah, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us today.
Pleasure.